course, we all promptly ignored. And we're desperately trying to get through to our friends. I remember attending class less than 2 weeks later, and my family was saying to me, "You've got to be crazy. You cannot even think about driving into New York City. It's only been 11 days. And I said, wild horses would not keep me away from my classmates. And I will never forget walking in that room and looking at their faces. And you've heard the expression that someone goes gray, you know, like when all the blood drains out. They all looked gray, just in shock and traumatized. And yet, in the presence of that incredible sorrow, when we all walked into that room, we literally fell into each other's arms. And there was such joy when we realized that every one of our classmates had survived. Some had even been in the pathway and had to run for their life. A couple were hospitalized, but everyone survived. And so in the presence of the sorrow and the grayness, there was also joy. The sorrow and the joy lived together. I also remembered this week a prayer that we learned at that time. Our director and our spiritual leader, Diane Burke, thought it would be appropriate for us to learn this, given those events. And the prayer says, "Lord, remember not only the men and women of goodwill, but also those of ill will. But do not only remember the suffering that they have inflicted on us. Remember the fruits we have brought thanks to that suffering. Our comradeship, our loyalty, our humility, the courage, the generosity, the greatness of heart which has grown out of all this. And when they come to judgment, let all the fruits we have borne be their forgiveness." Let all the fruits we have borne be their forgiveness. What's amazing about this prayer is it was found on the body of a dead child outside the gates of Ravensbrück, one of the most horrific Nazi concentration camps of World War II. And so we studied that prayer after 9/11 and became determined that the fruits we bore would be the forgiveness for those who, in a misguided attempt, flew their planes into the towers. And so I invite all of us, as this brand new community, to let all the fruits that we have borne be the forgiveness of anyone we feel needs it. That our friendship, our loyalty to one another, our humility, our courage, our generosity, and our love, let everything we have learned from any sorrow we have experienced lead to our joy. Because of this community and because of what we are creating together, from now on, when I remember 9/11, I will remember not only that awful picture that has been burned into my memory of planes flying into buildings, but I'll remember today and this fresh beginning. And I will really get in every cell of my body how sorrow and joy are linked, and that that's okay. And that right now what we are experiencing is joy, and that that's okay too. I want them to say of One World Spiritual Center that we live with no excuses, that we love with no regrets, that we laugh a lot. Okay, we've already nailed that one. That we leave this life and our times together with nothing left unsaid, and that we make this world a better place, both inside and outside of these walls. I want to end with something I received from an organization that I belong to in Allentown, an amazing organization called the Lehigh Dialogue Center. And this is a center that was created by a group of Turkish Americans after 9/11 to teach us that not all Muslims fly planes into buildings. This is what they wrote. In the 10th anniversary of the tragic events of 9/11, we Turkish Americans expressed our deepest sympathies and sorrow for the 9/11 victims and their families. Once again, we condemn the incidents which are against all human and Islamic norms in the strongest of terms. We believe that all Muslims and non-Muslims ought to be united against all those who terrorize the innocent people and plant seeds of hatred in the community. As a religion of peace and tolerance, Islam holds the human soul in high esteem and considers attacking innocence a grave sin, as underlined in the Quran. Whosoever kills a person, it shall be as if he has killed all of humankind. And he whosoever saves the life of one, it shall be as if he has saved the life of all of humankind. We believe that terrorism, violence, and vandalism have no religion. The best answer to these social diseases is to further strengthen our relationships in the community, because we all know that the very aim of terrorism is to disrupt the social peace and harmony. The American creed, which unites all races, ethnicities, classes, religions, and ways of life on this soil, remains to be a powerful source of inspiration for us all. The Turkish American community has been a significant contributor to social harmony in the nation by organizing events, trips, and conferences for intercultural dialogue and understanding. Our philosophy is nurtured by the leaders who have enlightened their communities for social cohesion and citizen participation, namely Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King Jr., and Fethullah Gulen. Gulen's following words summarize our creed for communal harmony, and this could become ours. Be so tolerant that your bosom becomes wide like the ocean. Become inspired with faith and love of all human beings. Let there be no troubled souls to whom you do not offer a hand and about whom you remain unconcerned. As our hearts bleed for the victims of 9/11, we believe that we all together, regardless of our distinct cultures, ethnicities, and races, do share a common dream, a peaceful world in which love is very much loved and hatred is doomed to be hated. Let's open not only our minds, but also our hearts. Let's listen not only to our neighbors, but also to voices that extend around the world. Let's imagine the peace not only in our towns, but also in the universe. Let it be. Can I hear an amen? Thanks. Let's take that into meditation.